first and foremost, pick up your phone, be available, have an open communication. Hey guys, welcome back again to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by. And if this is your first time you're seeing my face, or the first time you're clicking on my channel, my name is Lotachi Vanessa. I make videos every single week on the topics of beauty, lifestyle, career, how to make multiple streams of income, and how to climb up the corporate ladder. If any of these is the kind of topics that you're interested in seeing on your timeline, hit the subscribe button down below. Also turn on the bell so that every single time I post a video, you will be the first one to know. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about tips and tricks to remain visible and noticeable at work while working from home. Basically, we all know that most people are working from home these days, and even if your company is not yet into working from home, in the next couple of years, due to the pandemic and the effect it has had, it has accelerated digital, making a lot of companies to now realize that their staff can actually work from home, and it saves them money. So it's actually cheaper for people to work from home. So many companies are going to jump on the bandwagon of working from home. As people work from home, there's the upside to it, meaning you have to spend more time at home. You can do whatever you want. You just have to deliver your work. There's also the downside to it, meaning you're no longer visible. And if you check out my other video, which I talked about tips to climbing the career ladder, the corporate ladder, I spoke about how politics plays a very, very big part in your progress at work. And working from home doesn't necessarily eliminate all the politics. I put it to you that many people are working from home, but they are still playing their card right. They are still doing things here and there that ensures that they are visible and they are in front of the people that they need to be in front of. That their work is seen and recognized by those people that they want to see their work. So if you're interested in finding out all the tips and tricks I have, definitely keep on watching. Come on! When you are working from home, it means that nobody knows who you are, nobody knows your personality, nobody knows the kind of nobody knows you aside from what you the job that you're called to do. And as I mentioned in my previous video, to progress at work, at some point, it's no longer about whether or not you can do the job. It is now about whether or not you fit a certain part, whether or not you fit socially, whether or not you've interacted with the right people, whether or not you have hit a chord with the people that sit at the table, the people that get to make a decision about your future in that company. So my number one tip is that you need to speak out at meetings. So these days now, companies tend to do more of Teams meeting, more of virtual meetings, if you get what I mean. A very, very big tip I would give is always speak out during meetings. If you're in the office and it's a physical meeting, yes, also speak out, but it is not as important as speaking out when you're in a virtual meeting. If there is a question, if you have something to clarify, speak out so that whoever is listening in knows that this staff is not just in their house sitting down and listening on this meeting, but this staff has actually taken note down. She's asking good questions. But if you go for meetings and then you're just quiet and they ask, does anybody have any questions, and you're quiet, and every single time they have a meeting, you are mute, you are quiet, how is that going to help you be visible? Have a question about something, have a comment about something. Even if you know the answer to the question you're asking, ask that question so that you're noticed by your colleagues, your juniors, your seniors, your manager, that you are present and at the meeting. The number 2 tip is that you need to be intentional socially. So this is a very important point. You need to, how do I put it now? When you're in the office physically, it's easy to, bump into someone and be like, oh yeah, let's have lunch together. Or you sit down with someone at when you're in your cafeteria and have lunch with that person, and you guys gist or talk about things that are outside of work. It's easy when you're physically in the office, but working from home makes it a lot more difficult. So you have to now be intentionally social. What do I mean by that? You have to put in a little bit more effort. Make use of the social media platforms at your disposal. WhatsApp is a great one. Instagram, LinkedIn. Connect with all the people that you feel that you need to connect with. It can be your colleagues, it can be your managers, it can be your seniors. Be socially intentional. Call people out of the blue. If it's their birthdays or their anniversaries, wish them happy birthday or happy anniversary. If you don't have anything to say, just say, oh, I'm just calling, I thought about you today, I just wanted to know how you're doing, how is work treating you, how is this pandemic treating you, hope you're well. Do you get those kind of things? Help you to stay fresh in people's memories. Also, if you're thinking about, like I mentioned, birthday, you're wondering how will I know it's their birthday to call them. That is where social media is important. Follow people on social media. Stay in touch socially. Ensure that you keep the lines of communication open socially. Like, third point, which is a very important point, is make people or your manager or the people you work with aware of what you're working on. In your head, you might be like, my colleagues already know what I'm doing, so there's no need to remind them or inform them about what I'm doing. I'm doing my work. No, you need to consciously remind people of what you are doing. What do I mean? Because we are working from home, it's very easy for people to just look at you and just assume that she's not working or she's not putting in as much effort. And do you know what that leads to? Eventually, if it comes to a time where they need to cut down on staff, your name is called because they're like, they don't even see the value you're bringing. So something my boss has taught me is that you need to blow your own trumpet. So like my task at work, right, it might include many tasks. I might have my day-to-day work. I might also have some ad hoc work that it doesn't even form part of my KPI, but I'm doing. I might have other things that I'm thinking of doing to better my job. When I have a call with my manager, I tell her, okay, madam, these are all things I have on my to-do list. I also have this thing I'm doing for risk department. I'm also helping out this department with this thing that they asked for. I reached out to this person to find out how they are coping with this, and I offered to help her in doing XYZ. Do you get what I mean? That way your boss knows that, yes, so you're at home, but you're not just doing only the thing that they asked you to do, that the company asked you to do. You've taken it upon yourself to do other things, and they're also aware of the other things that you have in your space, the other kind of things you've basically put your time into. Imagine you're a boss. No, put yourself in this position of someone that has just said all these things I've said. Compare that staff to another staff that all they do is what they are asked to do, and they don't even tell their boss what they are even working on. In the boss's mind, who do you think they would call, or who do you think they would choose when a time like that comes to make a choice between one colleague, one staff, or the other one? So that's my point. You need to always make the people you're working with be aware of what you're working on, especially as we are working from home. It is very, very, very important. Number 4 point is that you need to have a can-do attitude and you need to be responsive. Now, I know that I mentioned this in my other video, but this also remains even now that we're working from home. You find that these days, working from home, there's no boundary, there's no barrier. They call you, you can get a call around 10 p.m. and you're basically sleeping, and they are calling you, your boss might be calling you to ask you about something that you know can wait till the next day. I'm not saying you should not have a life, but always have that can-do attitude. Always have the attitude of someone that is willing to take on a task, even as we are home and we're working from home. Why do I stress this point? This point is very important because as much as everybody is working from home, there are some people that just think you might be at home chilling, like you might be at home not doing much. And you want to, as much as you can, debunk all those thoughts from their mind. First and foremost, pick up your phone, be available, have an open communication. Don't say, oh, it's 10 o'clock, I'm about to go to bed. have the spirit of someone that is willing to take on a task, someone that is willing to work, because it's very easy for people to write you off as not doing anything because we are at home. Number 5 point is that as much as you remain intentional socially, like I said in my second point, you need to be intentional professionally. Now, what do I mean by this? Let's say a report comes out about your space. Maybe it's released by a consulting firm, McKinsey or KPMG. Is one of those things that they usually release on a monthly basis. Take that report, because you're working from home and you need to be visible. Take that report and do a summary of it, or you can just take it hook, line and sinker and send to your manager and be like, oh, good afternoon madam, good afternoon sir, I was online and I saw this very interesting report regarding this thing in our space that we are dealing with. I think this is a very good read and it will help our department in XYZ. Send it to your manager. I'm not saying you should spam everybody's email, but with sense, with wisdom, do it. And then you find that eventually, at least one time out of 10, someone will reply you. Your boss might reply you and be like, oh, interesting, or nice read, or whatever. That way, you're letting them know that you're at home, you're working from home just like every other person, but you're adding value. Even if they don't open the mail, they just know that they have a positive feeling when they think about you, because they're like, okay, yes, this is my staff. Out of all my people that are working from home, this person has gone the extra mile to do XYZ. Another thing you can do is, if your group is on a chat and you people have a WhatsApp group chat where all of you are on, once in a while, rather than the normal social calls and whatnot, you can send that professional article and be like, oh, this is what I found, this is what KPMG released about this topic. Create a discussion around it, so that those, even if nobody answers you, they'll be like, people you're working with will know that you have actually done a bit of research, like you're interested in the work, you're doing a little more than every other person. This is putting yourself out there intentionally. The people you work with, the people that you identify as those that can propel you from one step to the other, would appreciate this kind of act. Those are the 5 tips I have for you, and trust me, I believe all these tips I've given you now are extremely important, especially now that we are working from home. So I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, give this video a huge thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please smash the subscribe button down below. It will make me very happy, and it will also greatly help my channel. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you learned. Let me know the tips that you think you're going to implement, and I'll definitely see you in my next one. Bye guys.